My fiancé Syed, I'm sick. Don't call me. I need to rest. So I sent her parents a few photos, her and her new guy holding hands, walking on the beach, along with a message. Please tell your daughter to take care of her health. The next morning, my phone was flooded with missed calls. My fiancée told me she was feeling sick and needed a few days to rest alone. She said, please don't call or visit, I just need to sleep and recharge. So being the considerate idiot I am, I told her to take care. But then I thought, hey, her parents should probably know she's not feeling well. So I did what any caring future son-in-law would do. I politely messaged her mom and dad, attached a few pictures and wrote, hi, just wanted to let you know her name isn't feeling great. Hope she gets some proper rest. Please remind her to look after herself. The pictures, well, let's just say they weren't taken by me. They were from a friend who happened to be at a beach resort, 200 kilometers away, where my sick fiancé was very clearly not resting. The next morning, my phone went off like a fire alarm, 52 missed calls. From the outside, everything about us looked perfect. We'd been engaged for 6 months, wedding plans were rolling smoothly, and both our families adored each other. We were that couple, the one everyone pointed to when they said, see, some people really do make it work. I believed it too. I thought I hit the jackpot. She was smart, charming, had this calm energy that made me think, yeah, this is the person I'll grow old with. We barely fought, and even when we did, it was about small stuff like who forgot to buy milk. Nothing serious. Then one random Thursday night, she texted me out of nowhere. Hey babe, I'm feeling super run down lately. Work's been crazy and I think I'm getting sick. I just need a few days alone to rest, okay? Please don't call or come over. I just need to sleep it off, and I thought, fair enough. Everyone needs space sometimes. I told her to take care, that I'd check in later. I even offered to drop by with soup, but she politely declined, said she didn't want to get me sick. I told myself, she trusts me enough to ask for space. That's a good sign. The first night, nothing seemed off. She didn't reply much, but she'd warned me she was tired. The next day, though, I noticed something weird. A friend of mine, let's call him Dan, posted a bunch of photos on Instagram. He was on a weekend trip with his girlfriend at some fancy beach resort about 200 kilometers away. I scrolled past at first, but one of the photos caught my attention. In the background, near the pool, I saw a girl wearing a white sundress. A very specific white sundress. It looked exactly like the one I'd given my fiancé for our 1-year anniversary. Not just similar, the same one. I even remembered the tiny floral pattern on the straps, because she once mentioned it was so delicate it could rip if you pulled too hard. At first, I told myself it couldn't be her. What were the odds, right? But the longer I stared at that picture, the more my stomach twisted. Same build, same hairstyle, even the same small tattoo on her shoulder, the one she got with her best friend last summer. I tried to brush it off. I mean, it's 200 kilometers away. She said she was homesick. Maybe it's just someone who looks like her. But then I checked her messages again. She hadn't been online since last night. No replies, no updates. Just, I need rest. My brain started connecting dots I didn't want to see. So I sent Dan a message. Hey bro, random question. That resort you're at, what's it called? He replied, said the name, and then casually added, it's packed this weekend, lots of couples here. I hesitated, then asked if he could send me a few more pictures. Said I was thinking of booking a stay there later. He didn't suspect anything, so he sent me 5 or 6 shots he hadn't posted yet, and in 2 of them, there she was, not someone who looked like her, not maybe, it was her. Standing next to a guy I'd never seen before, holding his hand, laughing like she hadn't a care in the world. That was the exact moment everything clicked. The I'm sick text, the silence, the sudden distance. She wasn't resting. She was on vacation with someone else. I just sat there staring at those photos for a good 5 minutes. You know that feeling when your brain refuses to catch up with what your eyes are seeing? That's exactly it. My first reaction wasn't even anger. It was confusion. Like, how? Why? I zoomed in until the image started to blur, just to make sure I wasn't seeing things. But there was no denying it. It was her. Same smile, same necklace, the one I bought her last Christmas. And that guy next to her, arm around her waist, their fingers intertwined. My stomach dropped. I remember putting my phone down, standing up, then sitting back down again because my legs actually felt weak. My fiancé, the woman who was supposed to be too sick to talk, was on a beach vacation holding hands with someone else. After about 10 minutes of silent disbelief, the anger kicked in. That deep burning kind that starts in your chest and crawls up your throat? I texted Dan again. Hey, could you send me that photo in better quality? I think I know that girl. He replied a few minutes later with a full resolution version, followed by, Wait, isn't that your fiancée? I didn't even answer. I just stared at my phone. That one question said it all. I sat there for hours thinking what to do. My first instinct was to call her, to scream, to demand an explanation, to tell her I knew everything. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, what's the point? She was already lying. Anything she said would just be another layer of bullshit. So I decided to keep quiet, to think, to plan. The thing is, I wasn't the type to create drama. I didn't want to go on social media and expose her like some reality show contestant, but I also wasn't going to just swallow it and move on like nothing happened. She lied to me, to my face, about being sick. That night I barely slept. I kept looking at those pictures. The sunlight, her laugh, the way she looked so free. Like our engagement didn't even exist. Around 2 a.m. I remembered something she said once when we first got engaged. I love how mature you are. You always handle things calmly. You never make a scene. Well, I figured it was time to put that to the test. We had a small family group chat where we shared wedding updates, vendor lists, venues, catering stuff. Her mom liked to send Pinterest boards there. It felt like the most natural place to send a concerned update. So instead of calling her, I opened the group chat with her family, the one we used to share updates about the wedding prep. It included her parents, her older sister, and me. I typed out a short message, polite, respectful, the kind of message that sounds like pure concern on the surface. Hi everyone. I just heard from her name that she wasn't feeling well and needed some rest. A friend of mine happened to send me a few photos from a beach resort this weekend. I think she's there. She looks happy though. Just wanted to share and remind her to take care of her health. I attached the photos, hit send, and went on with my morning like nothing happened. Around 9 a.m., my phone started lighting up. It's one call, then another, then dozens more. First one call, then another, then another. By the time I looked, there were 52 missed calls, 10 from her, 5 from her mom, 3 from her dad. The rest were from cousins, mutual friends, and even her bridesmaid. I didn't pick up a single one. I just sat there sipping my coffee, watching my phone light up again and again like a slot machine hitting jackpot. Then the texts started coming in. Her first one, WTF, did you do? Then it's not what it looks like, then please can we talk? Please don't do this. She tried to spin it and said the guy was just a co-worker, that they happened to book the same resort, that they held hands for a photo. I didn't even reply. It was pathetic I didn't reply. Her mom texted next something like, I'm so sorry I didn't know. Please let's talk before things get worse. And then her dad, will handle this. I'll call you later. That was when it hit me. This wasn't just between us anymore. The secret was out. And not because I yelled or accused, but because I let the truth speak for itself. And honestly, it felt peaceful. For the first time in days, I wasn't angry. I wasn't heartbroken. Just calm. I didn't regret it for a second. I wasn't trying to humiliate her. Honestly, I didn't even want revenge. I just wanted truth. And I figured, if she was so comfortable lying to me, maybe she'd have a harder time lying to her own parents. About an hour later, I finally opened one of her texts. Please, can we talk? I'll explain everything. It's not what you think. Sure, because being photographed holding hands with another guy at a beach resort definitely has an innocent explanation, right? Maybe she tripped and accidentally fell into a weekend getaway. I didn't reply. A few minutes later, her mom called again. I didn't answer. Then came the message. We're very sorry for what happened. Please don't make any rash decisions. Let us talk to her first. Rash decisions? Lady, your daughter took a wellness retreat with a side of cheating. By noon, her dad texted me, short, direct. I'm sorry this happened. We'll deal with it. You don't have to talk to her anymore. That one made me laugh. Don't contact her. Buddy, that's the easiest thing I've done all week. By evening, I guess the reality must have sunk in for her, because the tone of her messages changed completely, from angry and defensive to desperate and guilty. I messed up. Please, I can explain. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just needed space. Can we at least talk in person? Please don't tell anyone else. Too late for that, sweetheart. I knew she was panicking not because she got caught, but because of how she got caught. Politely, publicly, and without a single word of accusation. That's the kind of shame that sticks. What she didn't realize was that I'd chosen every detail of that message on purpose. The polite tone, the concerned fiancé act, the phrasing like, "She looks happy, but I hope she rests and takes care of her health." That wasn't random. That was a scalpel. I wanted her family to see not just her mistake, but the contrast, the caring fiancé versus the lying daughter. I didn't need to raise my voice. I just let the truth wear a tuxedo and do the talking. That night, I muted my phone and met up with a couple of close friends. Told them the whole story. One of them just sat there with his mouth open like, "Dude, that's brutal." But the best part, none of them told me I overreacted. Everyone said the same thing. She played a stupid game. You gave her a classy ending, and that's exactly how it felt. Not revenge. Just closure delivered with manners. Later that night, when I finally checked my phone again, I had one last message from her. "You didn't have to humiliate me like that." I said I was sorry. I almost replied, "You didn't have to cheat like that." I said I loved you. But I didn't. Some things are better left unsent. Instead, I sent her just one message. Calm, short, polite. The same tone I'd used all along. "You feeling better now?" "Great. Then let's talk about ending this properly." And that was it. No drama, no screaming. Just quiet finality. The next day, her parents called to say they'd handle cancelling the wedding venue and returning the deposits. Her mom sounded like she'd been crying. Her dad's voice was pure anger, but not at me. I thanked them for their honesty and said, "Don't worry, I'm not mad. I'm just done." And I meant it. A few days later, I met her parents in person, handed the ring back, thanked them, and left. People always imagine breakups happen in chaos. Crying, shouting, begging. But this one? It ended with silence. The kind of silence that's heavy but clean. I didn't block her. Didn't post anything. Didn't try to make her look bad. I didn't need to. She'd already done that herself. Over the next few days, word spread fast. Mutual friends started reaching out. Some were shocked, some said they had a feeling. One even admitted, "I saw her texting some guy months ago but didn't think it was serious." Classic. Her parents insisted on taking care of the cancellations. I offered to split the costs, but her dad flat out refused. Said it was their mess to clean up. Her mom called one last time to apologize. She sounded exhausted. I told her it's okay that I wished her daughter well. I meant it. Then came the last message from my ex-fiancé. "I'm sorry for everything. You didn't deserve it. I really hope you find someone who treats you the way you treated me." I stared at that text for a long time. It was almost poetic, if you ignored the fact that it came from the person who wrecked everything. I typed a reply, deleted it, retyped it, deleted it again. Eventually, I settled on something simple. Take care of yourself. And that was the final message I ever sent her. No closure talk, no emotional rehash. Just done. After that, I went quiet for a while. Deleted the wedding planning apps, cancelled the honeymoon trip, returned a few things we'd bought together. It was weird how freeing it felt. You'd think losing your fiancé would leave this giant hole, and for a while it did. But slowly that space started to feel like breathing room. I realized I'd been so focused on building a future with her that I stopped noticing how much of myself I'd bent to fit her expectations. The maturely calm but never overreacting guy she praised, that was me constantly managing her emotions, keeping peace, avoiding conflict, and in the end it didn't stop her from cheating. Funny thing, and she once said she loved me because I never made a scene. Turns out, not making a scene was the loudest scene of all. Funny how that works. A few months later, I heard she moved to another city. I didn't ask where. I didn't care. Whatever she's doing now, I genuinely hope she's happy, or at least honest. As for me, I kept my promise to myself. I didn't let this turn me bitter. I still believe in love, just not blind trust. Sometimes, people show you who they are the moment you stop trying to protect their image. And if you're wondering, it's no. I never picked up any of those 52 missed calls. I didn't need to, because that one message I sent, "You feeling better now?" Great. Then let's talk about ending this properly, was the last conversation that ever needed to happen. The rest spoke for itself.